Okay. Are you gonna sing? Because I'm not singing. But happy birthday! We did it! Yay! Wait, I should have made a wish. One second, I'm gonna do that again. Okay, pause. Sorry. I posted that video in early May. My anniversary was for April, and I stalled on posting it. And today is, what is today? May 27th, Tuesday. And I'm trying to figure out why I didn't actually post it, and I'm in my feelings about this. And so actually I figured maybe I can come back, give it a fresh start of me just sharing more about myself and my journey and just giving a bit more of intention behind it. And maybe we can do some art. A couple videos ago, I was in the woods making these cute little pinch pots, and I want to make a whole bunch of these because I want these to be test tiles. And wouldn't it be cute if like these were all hanging from the wall, like a peg wall or something like that, with different glazed test tiles. So I'm gonna knock out a whole bunch of those and just talk through my journey with y'all. Okay, so anywho, at the beginning of the year, I set intention on building my confidence, and I feel like I lost a bit of that from actually a lot of things that were happening over the past couple years. I went through a job loss, and then I also recently had a breakup that's been even hard to say out loud. And it feels frustrating to feel like I'm searching for who I am over again at this current moment. And so, yes, I'm still on that trajectory of working through my confidence and building that. And I kind of, and reflecting back on why I wasn't posting, I was questioning, and I have to say, no lie, it's like, did I set out to do what I intended to do with my YouTube channel? And no, I didn't. I kind of dropped the ball a couple times. I think I only posted maybe 7 months out of the year. So I think I got on April, May. I kind of dropped off for a little bit because, you know, if you've ever started a YouTube channel, no one watches. Nope, no one. But it's okay. That wasn't my intention of trying to be like this influencer. And if anything, it was more for myself on self-discovery and trying to build my confidence on just like speaking. Honestly, it's helped along the way. I've moved from doing pop-ups in my place, promoting that to, and now becoming a clay instructor, which I'm really grateful for. When looking at the analytics, of course, I can't help but question some of the things like, is it worth it? Should I continue on? And I even asked that to y'all back in September, and I did drop off. So here I am, I'm doing my 1-year anniversary, and I wanted to give more of a backstory of my pottery journey. And also I just want to say thank you. Thank you for watching my journey, for supporting me in however you have supported me, whether that's helping me set up at craft fairs, or whether you purchase an item at a craft fair or through my online pop-up shop, or whether you have watched my videos, liked my videos, or engaged with any of my content. I appreciate how you have showed up in the ways that you have, and that's definitely given me confidence in myself. And it's also just to acknowledge that it does take time to create videos. And so I do this with passion and a love, especially knowing that all of this is very much like free pro bono work because I'm not getting paid to do this. And I think that's all to say too. Like I feel very much here to inspire others. And it may not be through pottery, but it might be just someone who is also searching for a job, or someone who is just trying to figure out a hobby or something that they can do. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for following me and just supporting me in this journey. Let's go back, way, way back. So how did I start my ceramics journey? I started it in 2015. A friend slash coworker sat right in front of me at work when I was doing architecture, and they passed away all of a sudden. They passed away from a brain aneurysm, and the person just didn't show up for work. So I attended her funeral. Her name is Tiffany, by the way. And she had a video. So apparently she started YouTube when she was a teenager, and she created these like really fun, quirky videos of, she was trying to do 100 different things within her summer season before school started. And actually her video really inspired me to do also the same challenge. I created my own do 100 different things within 1 year. I got to 73. That was actually really, really hard. But one of the things I did was I started pottery. I took a one-time pottery class in the city, and my pieces were a hot mess. They were these ugly shaped bowls. I think one was red, but I know my sister has my other one still at her place, next to the soap dispenser in the kitchen. But that experience of taking that pottery class I felt was very meditative. And I remember just like slamming the clay down onto the pottery wheel and taking out all of this energy. And not just because of her, but I also was going through a breakup at this time. And so I just needed an outlet and a release to release some of this, like everything that was going on at that time. It just felt like a lot. So I really enjoyed that class, and I started taking a few other classes. So I took a class at that studio, and that kind of just started my ceramics journey. I ended up taking classes on and off for 10 years, and I couldn't do it continuously because it's very, very expensive to just take ceramics classes back to back. So I would take it like on and off, or even I would sell things and then use that money to take another class. And that kind of helped me like stay into the community. I also was very much exploring the idea of starting my own business at the time. Look how fat this handle is. Maybe it should be smaller. Okay, hold on. I also was thinking about like creating my own business at that time. And I actually felt at that moment that I wasn't that inspired by my current job. And so I started a subscription box company called St. Florence. And so I wanted to put in this subscription box like a whole bunch of like locally sourced goods and cute little items. And I just wanted these to be thoughtful boxes because I recognize like you go to an event, you go to a funeral, you go to something, and like what is the most thoughtful gift for that activity, and really tailoring a box for that type of person. This was also around the time that subscription boxes were really popular. So I think Bark Box and a few of those other ones came out around the same time. And I launched it, and I think after maybe the third month or after the second month or something like that, I put one of my ceramics in the boxes, and a lot of people were really like excited about my ceramics. So in a way, it kind of was like user testing because people really loved my ceramics. And so I started selling my ceramics on its own, and I was getting more traction with selling my ceramics than actually getting people to buy the boxes. So I kind of pivoted and just started selling my ceramics alone because I saw with user testing what my target audience liked and what they wanted. So that's kind of how St. Florence, the name, started. Okay, so this all ties together, I promise. This is hard to hold because my hands are full of clay. Now I'm getting the book dirty, and that's like one of my pet peeves, to get books dirty. But here we are. I just finished reading Ella today. I started with a digital copy, and I did feel like it was a very slow start to the book. It was pretty heavy. I thought when I started reading it that it was very much a summer read. It was a very colorful book cover, and the book is very dark and heavy. So I ended up switching to listening to it on the Libby Library. Just so I didn't want to put it down. I knew that Ella's story would be very important to me because I love her music, and sometimes when I try to sing with this I don't know what it feels like. It's deep in me, and the voice that I try to carry would be an Ella Fitzgerald. I don't sound like that, but that's who I would want to be if I could sing. And so I knew I wanted to finish reading her story. So yes, I definitely switched over to the audio, which helped me get through it a bit faster. Let me grab another ball of clay. And I found her story very moving and heartbreaking. So is it a 5-star read? I can't give it a rating because it's hard to give someone else's life, someone else's real life journey a rating. And so I'm not going to. But if I could just say that my pros and cons of it, the cons was that I did feel like it's very much a pre-story before she became famous. I did want a bit of the tie-in and overlap to when she did become famous. Looks back on her life and finally confronts the demons of her childhood. Okay, oops, okay. Yes, so it definitely is more focused on her childhood, and she went through a lot. Like, it's also just to acknowledge what life is like pre-civil rights. And so she grew up in the 30s, and so now I'm thinking about it. I definitely should talk to my grandma about this because this is around the age of my grandma and how she grew up, and even just to think how the way people spoke to Black people and how they really enforced being in your place, and this is the only thing you can do. You can only be a cleaner, you can only be a servant, you can only cook. And so she was really trying to overcome this battle with everyone of, I will not just be a household servant. I will be what I want to be, and no one will tell me what I want to be. And I love that she did that, even not even knowing that the 60s, the civil rights movement was going to happen and what would be in the future. She was just very much grounded on, I need to have balance, and I need to stay grounded in what I want. And I want to support my family. I want to support my sister, and I will make sure I can provide for whoever I'm surrounded by. Do I wish I could have been warned of some of these trigger warnings? Yes, maybe. There is a bit of the R word. Both the R words are in there, and it's really heavy, and usually I kind of avoid topics like that, but just acknowledging that this was her real life scenario and this wasn't just like a sci-fi or historical fiction book. So all in all, I would say it was a very, very good book. It was really heavy though. It was really deep. And the thing that brings me back to why I want to talk about this today is that how I can reflect on my life and my journey with Ella Fitzgerald. I feel like I'm very much a go-getter where if someone tells me no, like you're not capable of doing that thing, I try to go out and do it. It's hard for me to hear the word no, and so if anything, it gives me more motivation to do that thing. In reflecting back on this is, for most of my life, I've had to live alone, and I think our friends and our family has the best intention for us, but they might not fully understand the drive that you have. Just of everyone just telling you, I don't know if you can do this. Why don't you, have you tried this other thing? And it's like, I've already tried these other things. Like, I'm doing my best. Can you give me a break? And can you just support me and be there for me in more of a thoughtful way? I feel exhausted sometimes. And do you relate in any way to what I'm going through, or have something, or have a story that you want to share of what got you through a life challenge in life? have you read the book Ella by Diane Richards? The struggles that I have with YouTube, or at least right now, is that I do feel like sometimes I'm in an echo chamber, and but I know that there are other people who are going through these scenarios. So maybe like let's be a supportive group to each other, share your story. And I'm hoping that people can relate to one another. If anything, you can relate to me, get inspired, be empowered. So what are my dreams? Okay, this is hard to say out loud, but I'm just going to share one of them, the thing that I really would love to manifest and set intention here. I want to start a pottery studio. And I've always had this envision where I would start this when I retire. Why do we have to start some things later on in life? Like, why can't we just enjoy life now? And I especially like live in this kind of live now moment, recognizing that I've lost both of my parents. And so I want to enjoy life now and enjoy life later. So I'm kind of thinking about ways where I could do that. And I think just even becoming a teacher is a first step to do that. And that's why I enjoy what I do. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy making art. I hope that this journey can just grow into something more. But we'll see what that journey lies ahead. But I just want to share again with intention with you what this first year has been for me and what I envision for my future. So I actually have a very busy week of pottery upcoming. I invite you to follow along that journey, get a cozy tea, and hang out with me this upcoming week as we finish up our glaze class and the final 6-week class in the pottery studio. Okay, bye.
Cheers.
All of my classes worked. I made candles and surface design. Love this piece. Carved out a few things. This is fine. Ooh, look at this. afternoon. It's Tuesday now. Mondays I always teach pottery classes. I have a private event that happens earlier in the day, and then in the evening there's the part one 6-wheel class. But I'm a little bit behind on just like putting things in a kiln, and I actually just fired one of my pieces just from my hand building class. So I've been working on these every time I do a hand building class. I kind of do the same thing. And I don't know, it's just this basic form just to show them something that they could work on, how to actually score and apply little elements and little objects on things. But this one was done a couple weeks ago. This is just I think it's Mako Norse Blue with winter wood. Both of them were one coat on here, so you can see lightly speckled, light blue. And then when I did it again, I did 2 coats on each application. And I really love how strong and vibrant the winter wood speckles came out, and also how vibrant the blues came out. Sunday, Memorial Weekend, and I'm here in the studio. So we just finished our last one-time class last weekend, and some of the glazed pieces came out, and I want to show you some of my students' work. We got the lid. It looks like her lid actually waxed to the piece. It's still a really cute, beautiful piece. So maybe a little bit of more wax should have been applied. But I love that she was able to create a lidded cup. Loving some of these glaze choices and the detail that went into a few of these pieces. And look at these bowls. Aren't they gorgeous? One day I taught how to throw a bowl, and so I'm loving how they came out and a bit of the details that went into the full process. I actually found my piece. I taught them how to throw a mug. I used dragon fruit as a clay body, but I had a bit of yellow mason stain in it, and then I applied an apricot glaze on the top. I love it. It's really cute. It's very much summer vibes, and I can use this as a cute chunky handle mug. And then my lidded piece was just spitfire, so I need to throw those. And same with this one. And I also made this piece. It did get smashed by the wall. It was just like right next to the wall, and so it smashed like this. That's okay. This was a good test piece in teaching the class how to throw a bowl. And I did white on top of dragon fruit. I might reglaze this again with another layer of white so the white is a bit more pronounced. All right, see you later.